We have not learned the taqwa, which is the month of Ramadan is about taqillah, to observe Allah, not to lie, not to cheat, not to do this. Know that Allah is with us in every moment and we are accountable. Same as He sees us not eating or drinking, He sees us if we lie. He sees us all the other things. And yet what do? And we notice during the months of December, we learn that it's Santa Claus who sees us if we're good and He sees us if we're bad. We replace Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Santa Claus. Santa Claus sees if we're good or bad rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He's with us in every moment. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us and we are accountable for our deeds. Don't blame anybody else. In the day of judgment you can't say it is our leaders, it is somebody else who told us. As it says in Surah Saba, the unbelievers will blame kubara'ahum, their leaders, and then kubara'ahum said, you followed us. We did not say to follow us. It was by your own choice you followed, and you deserve the punishment as we do. Subhanallah. So each and every one of us is accountable for his action. There is no blame. We have asked each and every one of us, how did we spend our youth? How did we spend our money? How did we spend our time? And we can't say no. The best example I always say is during the months of Ramadan in the Muslim countries, on the TV there is a lot of shows to distract people. And then people say we blame the government for all these shows. And I say, all the TV stations is nothing but a business. If they notice that people watch the Quran and only watching religious series, that's what they'll produce. But most of us say it's them and we watch this series and we watch these things that distract us away from Allah. And that we blame them. But if each one of us said it is my responsibility and I have to control what I watch, trust me, they will not produce all this nonsense. They're only producing it because there is audience. And the audience is among us. And if we stop watching it, yes, it's wrong that they're doing it, but that's the way khutwat al-shaytan is, the footsteps of al-shaytan. If you notice on satellite TV, there's hundreds of stations, and you have the choice between watching the Quran and the other good stations and watching all the series. It's your choice. So don't blame anybody else because they produced all the series during the months of Ramadan. It is our responsibility. It gives me an example. I was back home in Egypt one time, and I noticed I was watching a religious show, and then I noticed nobody was sitting beside me anymore. And when I asked where did everybody go, they said Star Academy was on, and they went to watch to another TV. This is good people. But yet when the choice was there in front of each and every one of us, we chose Star Academy. So what do you think they're going to produce? Are they going to produce a religious show that nobody watches, or Star Academy, or all other things that people want to watch? It is our responsibility what we watch during the months of Ramadan or outside Ramadan, and then they will not produce them because nobody's watching them. And yet we take the easy way out and we blame them and we get angry at them for doing this. Yes, they make money and that's what they're after. But we have to take the responsibility ourselves, and this is taqwa Allah. We observe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We observe Allah in every moment, and as we observe Allah, as the ayah says, the reward is not only in al-akhirah, the reward is in al-dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ القُّرَى آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. If the people of the villages believe and observe Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open blessings from heaven and earth. Blessings. This is what we will get for taqwa Allah. And yet we choose other options and we blame others. So inshallah, during the months of Ramadan, we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only for fasting and drinking and no intercourse, but everything we do is we know that Allah is watching us. And it becomes a training. It becomes a habit for after Ramadan, inshallah. And when we obey and when we listen to the Quran and know this is huda. Hudan, it's guidance for all of us. Listen to the words, they're beautiful words, except we just want to listen to the voice of the reciter or something, rather than trying to reflect the meaning of the Quran. I remember when I used to attend the halaqah, and when we read the Quran, I asked the sheikh a question. A brother says, don't ask please, we want to finish. We want to finish. We don't want to understand. We're not here to understand. We're not here to understand and listen to the words of Allah and apply it. We just want to finish. We want to finish quickly. Subhanallah. Why have we turned like this, that we want to finish the Quran quickly rather than learn it and apply it? Because if we learn one ayah and live with it, it could make us happy. As I mentioned before, the ayah وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, a part of the ayah. If each one of us lives by it to say Alhamdulillah for what he has, Allah will give us more. Alhamdulillah for the health, Allah will give us more health. Alhamdulillah for the children, Allah will maintain our children and keep them. Alhamdulillah for our job, Allah will maintain our job. Subhanallah, a small piece of the ayah. But no, somebody put in our minds, quickly finish and read it quickly. Read it 3-4 times during the months of Ramadan or 10 times, but don't dare to try to understand. Don't dare to listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking to us and telling us, guiding us on the right path. So please, inshaAllah, even if you take a few minutes a day to understand a piece of an ayah, it will guide us, for this is the huda, the guidance, inshaAllah.